Hello and welcome to FPL Natty. I am Nathaniel and I am here to go through my team for game week number 11. Basically how my team did. I wasn't able to do game week number 10. It just came by too fast. But whatever, we all moved past that stage. So we're at game week number 11, which just finished yesterday. That would be Sunday evening. And my team done okay. I think I have some good pointers to share with you guys. But in the meantime, if you're joining me, please like, subscribe. You know what to do. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. You know, we're stuck right now. Let's bump it up a bit. Let's try and get to at least 30 by the World Cup, hopefully. So share this with your friends and any other people that you are doing FPL with in your groups or whatever. And let's grow this channel. You know, it's a new channel, so I'll be really grateful for all the thumbs up messages or comments that you put on my videos. I'm so grateful for all of those. And if you haven't already, up there somewhere, yeah, sign up to my mini league as well. There's a few of us in there, so yeah, just join it. It doesn't matter if you got another mini league, it's okay, just join this one as well. The auto link is in the description below, so just go ahead, just sign up and do that. So let's go through my team and how I did for game week number 11. So before we go anywhere, let's skip back a week actually. Let's go back to game week 10 because we didn't talk about that. And this was my team. I did so. I got what, 59 points there. My rank was, I got a red arrow, to be honest. I think the biggest problem I had was, what was the biggest problem I had? That I just didn't get enough points. I think that was the biggest problem. So yeah, I got a red arrow that game week. I was down 8%. So I had to make some changes. And the first change I did was to sell Reece James. As we know, he got subbed off during the Champions League like almost a week ago now. I think it's a knee injury that he got there. And it also meant that it's possible that he's a doubt for the World Cup. And I couldn't risk it. So yeah, he had to go. But not just him, because someone else who flopped for me, this guy flopped as well. His name is Raheem Sterling. So yeah, he had to disappear from my squad as well. Definitely a minute's risk under Graham Potter as he was dropped against Wolves in game week number 10. And just for the price point he was, at the time he was like maybe 10 or 10.1. And it was just too high to keep that person on my bench. So I redistributed that funds within my team, and now he's at a price drop. I think he's now 9.9, and that probably will continue to go down purely because managers, FPL managers, are unsure about what to do with him. Even in the game we just gone, Potter was playing him. Harry Potter was playing him on right wing back as a winger and also a striker as well. So I think he's not even sure where he wants to play Sterling in general. So he had to go. And also Leon Bailey, also take him out my squad. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know why I brought him in. During my wild card is when I brought him in, and yeah, I shouldn't have done that. So he is out, he's gone, no brainer. He's always injured, even though he played just this week gone. He's a minute's risk, and his price just keeps dropping every time. So I'm just losing money by having him in my squad. So yeah, those are the three substitutions I made, 3 transfers I made. So it meant it was a -8. But at this stage in the game, I thought it was necessary rather than have 2 injured players and a minute's risk players. And both obviously two of those 3 were going to cost me so much money with my squad. So they had to go. So there we can see the points that I got. It is a green arrow. I think that's the main thing. I'm up 4.5% for the week, which is just over 100,000 places, which I was really happy about, considering I took the -8. So without the -8, I would have got 56 points, but I needed to make the transfers, as I said already. Now my overall rank is 595, and my overall points, is 595, and my overall rank is 2,146,415. And for this particular game week, I was 1.8 million out of 10 million FPL managers. So overall, over and all. I am actually pretty happy about that considering the hit that I took. And I am only 104 points off the top 10k. Now this number keeps rising, which is annoying, but I'm still within touching distance of the top 10k. If I can get like 20-25 points on top of, like, the averages, like each game week, probably for the next 4 before the World Cup, I can close that gap considerably and really look to press into that top 10k. That is the goal right now, is to get into the top 10k, and then we can kind of go from there. So let's delve deeper into how my individual players did. So starting with Raya, he is now back in my squad after I dropped him last week for Ward. And I'm just so glad I kept him. He done fantastic. He got me 10 points. Absolutely smashed it at home against Brighton on Friday night. Yeah, just so many save points, and also the clean sheet, which, yeah, I never expected that, to be honest, against Brighton. But yeah, Raya, he's going to stay in my squad for now. I might look to swap him out with Kepa, but I will have to see about that one. Next up, Trippier. This guy is really, really good, actually. 5.6 million. And as we saw, it was a goalless draw against Man United yesterday. And Trippier is actually the most consistent defender in 2022-2023 season due to his all-around output in attack and defense. He's only blanked twice in 12 appearances, combining with 2 assists and 5 clean sheets in that time. So in 10 games, Newcastle has only got 1 defeat in that time period. And up next, they have Everton at home. And I think he's going to produce attacking returns for me in that game as well. So it was a great job that Trippier did, but this guy didn't do such a good job. We saw what he did. He is Cancelo. He slipped. He done like the Gerrard slip against Chelsea, but this time it was against Liverpool. And Salah went in and scored the goal. And that kind of wiped out any points that he was ever going to get for me, to be honest. Yeah, in that loss to Liverpool, there was no attacking returns, and it was just a 1-0 win to Liverpool. They walked away with the points. So let's move swiftly on to another guy who gave me not much points, and that is Webster, the new guy who I brought into my squad, the new addition. To be honest, I was torn between him, Cucurella, Dunk, and Dyer. So I'm glad I didn't bring Cucurella in, because he got subbed at like half time. Glad I didn't bring Dunk in, because it would have been the same points. Could have brought Dyer in, because obviously Tottenham won, but it doesn't matter. We can focus on that another time. But he's only 4.5 million, and I have him in my squad, I think, for one more game, and that will be the Nottingham Forest game for Brighton play City. So most likely I will get him out before that if he doesn't return anything in the game against Nottingham Forest. On to Wilfried Zaha. 7.5 million. What's that say? 3 points he got there. Yeah, he hasn't produced any returns as he's promised, like within the fixtures that he has. So that's 4 games without a goal, and he was subbed before the end of the game versus Leicester. So with him, I think he's in my team also, similar to Webster. He's in my team for one more week as a placeholder for either Foden, Saka, or Martinelli, because I think those guys are just going to smash it, as we know they have done already. Whereas Crystal Palace's attacking output hasn't been as potent as I thought it was going to be. But I will hold on to him for at least this game week, because he does have great fixtures, and he does have great fixtures all the way to game week 16. He's got Wolves, Everton, Southampton, West Ham, and Forest. In all those fixtures, was that 5 fixtures there? 6 fixtures he has there. So he can be a potential hold, but for 7.5, I think there are better players that are doing really, really well. And although, Crystal Palace has no European football, and obviously, Zaha's on pens, I don't think it's enough to keep him in my squad going forwards, but we'll just have to see about that one. Someone who is definitely going to get shipped out is Maddison. 8.3 million, and he misses game week number 12, where other players are blanking, because he picked up his 5th yellow card of the season in the goalless draw against Crystal Palace. So for me, this guy had chances to score. I was watching the game. Leicester were all over Palace, but he just couldn't get on the score sheet, to be honest. And I know that his price is going to tank over these next couple of days. People are shipping him out in the droves, so I need to get rid of him ASAP. However, I do want to roll a transfer for this game week, but if it means I'm going to miss out on some money for Madison, then I might have to make a transfer early. But one player I'm keeping in my squad is Mason Mount. Now he came in for Sterling, and he's a great differential. He's only roughly around 5% ownership at the moment, and he's cheap. He's like 7.7 million. So if you're comparing him to the price of Madison and Zaha, he is cheaper than both of those players. But since Potter has come in, he has returned 4 assists in 5 matches in all competitions, and 4 of those have come in probably the last like 3 matches. And he added to that with his first 2 goals of the season last game. So that means he's got back-to-back double-figure hauls. And he's the most brought in player ahead of the deadline for game week number 12. As I said, managers are going to move away from Madison, who's suspended. So it kind of makes sense that people are going to jump on Mount. But I already have him, and he produced me 15 points. He's my man of the match for my game week number 11. Now on to Jared Bowen. Now he cost like 8.3 million, something like that. And West Ham did dominate Southampton, but they were unable to break them down. They went down 1-0 quite early on, and they just came up with a draw, but Bowen wasn't in any of that action. He is a good differential at only 5.6 ownership, but I need to consider whether or not it is worth keeping him. Even though I've recently brought him in, he has games against Liverpool, Bournemouth, and Man United up next, which could be tricky fixtures. So I am thinking about possibly swapping him out for, as I said, for a Foden or a Saka who has a similar price point to him and who basically has better fixtures, particularly for these next 3. So it's something that I am considering, but probably not for this game week, purely because Madison is not going to play at all and these fixtures are harder. Onto my forward option, I got a bit jumpy there, was Callum Wilson, and he returned 2 points, which is basically a blank, and that was against, as I said, Man United in a goalless draw, so he didn't get a goal at all. Now the pundits, when I was watching Match of the Day, the pundits feel that he should have got a penalty. I think what's his name, Danny Murphy said, "Oh, it's the worst refereeing decision of the weekend." Trust me, there's always bad refereeing decisions in FPL. Not in FPL, just in the Premier League with VAR and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he probably should have got a penalty, and I'm glad he didn't, because obviously I support Man United. But in terms of FPL, I did want Callum Wilson to produce some returns. He didn't. But he's going to stay in my squad because he's got Everton, Tottenham, and Villa up next. And I'm hoping he does produce something in those games. It might be a bit more difficult without St. Maximin, who's injured. Obviously, Wilson is the only striker there because Isak is going to be out probably until the World Cup, unfortunately. So he does need to do something. Otherwise, he's going out. And I'm probably going to either bring in Solanke or Mitrovic if he doesn't do something, because yeah, I need a striker up front who's going to do good things. And this player who you just saw a minute ago didn't do anything this game week, and that was Erling Haaland, my captain, most of you guys' captain as well. He blanked. Oh my gosh, he hasn't blanked in what, 10 games, 9 games. So it was his first blank in all of that time. No goal or assist, even though he had 6 shots in the box and got 2 saves from Alisson. He wasn't able to produce any returns, and now he has a blank for game week number 12. But of course, I am keeping him in my squad. I will not be getting rid of him. I will just put him on my bench, because after that he's got Brighton, then Leicester, Fulham, and Brentford. Come on, he's going to get returns in those games. I know that Liverpool was a tough game, but those next 4, he's definitely going to produce returns, so I'm not going to get rid of him anytime soon. Neither am I going to get rid of this guy. It is Harry Kane, who I should have captained. You know, I was thinking about captaining him, but I made a mistake about 2 game weeks ago where I captained Kane instead of Haaland. I think Haaland got like, what was it, 3? Yeah, he got a hat-trick and like 2 assists. Yeah, and I thought, I'm not going to make that mistake again. But I might go with my gut next time because as I spoke about Kane before in previous videos, he has registered returns in each of his last 9 game weeks, and it just basically shows how consistent he has been. And if it wasn't for Haaland, Kane would be top of the list for points for this season currently. His XG is currently 6.72 and an expected goal involvement of 8.78. Amazing. Really consistent. 7 goals, 3 assists. His points per match is roughly about 7.2, but it could be a bit higher. So he's not coming out of my squad anytime soon. And he's clearly differential because not many of you have him because of the price point he is. And obviously, if you've got Haaland and possibly a high price midfielder, it's gonna be difficult for you to bring him in your squad. But I've got him, so I'm happy that he's keeping me consistent at the moment. He scored yet again against Everton. He scored a penalty. He doesn't really miss those, even though he did miss one in Champions League. In Premier League, he doesn't really miss those, and Spurs went on to win 2-0. Up next, Harry Kane has Manchester United, but he doesn't have a great record against them, which is only 5 goals in 17 appearances. What can he do against them this time round? Possibly score, because Man United, they're going through a transitional period at the time. But yeah, I'm going to play him, obviously, because I've got Haaland on the bench. Harry Kane will definitely be in my squad. Now, before I move on, I just want to let you know that my bench actually produced so many returns for me this game week, and it is just shocking to say that. Look at this. 20 points was on my bench. 20 points. So if you include the 20 plus the 8 that I made in transfers, that is 28 points that I missed out on this game week. That is, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing what I did there. I flopped in that sense. But yeah, you know, we all live and learn. And to be honest, I still got, as you can see, I still got a green arrow. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. So yeah, Ward. I don't know what's going on with Ward, but he got a second successive home clean sheet. But to be honest, it was Crystal Palace and they didn't really have any meaningful shots on goal. So it wasn't an easy day for him. But I don't expect him to be doing that a lot this season, to be honest. And Andreas yet again produced returns. He got an assist via a corner. I think it was Issa Diop that scored it. So yeah, Andreas is doing bits at the minute. He's going to be in my squad for game week number 12. And Mark Gui also got returns as well. I saw that game and it was a decent game, but Crystal Palace were a bit toothless. But in defence, he was a rock at the back. He made very crucial defensive interventions, 5 clearances and 3 interceptions, which would be very, very good for him because Gareth Southgate was watching that game. So hopefully he was watching him, he was watching Maddison, and those are 2 players that he might be looking to bring in for the World Cup team for the England squad. And last but not least, it is Nico Williams. Shocking. Nottingham Forest, not just him, but just Nottingham Forest in general are not very good at all. And at the moment, we know that Williams is in the squad because Serge Aurier has an injury, so he's regained his place in the starting 11. But he's blanked for the 8th time in 10 matches. So I'm really thinking that Nottingham Forest are going to find it tough not to fight relegation this season. They brought in over 20 players in the transfer window and they haven't gelled at all. Too many players. He's not sure who's starting 11 is. He's not sure. I'm talking about Steve Cooper now. He's not sure how the players are playing. So I just don't see how they're going to do going forwards. But Nico Williams is not going to go anywhere near my squad unless it's game week number 12, which he most likely will do. So there it is. That is my team review for game week /10/11. So yeah, I did all right. I've got a green arrow. So once I get green arrows, I'm pretty much happy. I'm pretty excited. But to have 20 points on my bench, plus a -8, 28 points I missed out on. That is not cool. So I need to really look at what I'm doing in terms of the hits that I'm making so I can make less of them and probably future-proof the transfers that I make by looking ahead a bit further. You can do that as well. You can look at livefpl.net and that really helps you look at the transfers you have going forwards to try to plan your way through the season really. So let me know how you think I did in the comments and what score did you get? Write down your score in the comments below. Do it. All right, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe already. Up there is my league my mini league. So just join the FPL Natty mini league. Let's make this a huge, massive league. If it gets big enough, we can then have some sort of monetary winner situation going on. But I can only do it. You guys help. So you guys have to help me. Subscribe to the channel and make sure you sign up to that league as well. I will see you guys in my game week 12 team selection video, which will be coming out, I want to say tomorrow, but I don't want to lie to you. But yeah, I want to say tomorrow because it's not really going to be much changes to it, to be honest. So I will see you guys in the next one.